Hello and good day to you all. This is your instructor Tariq Darwish, and we are going to tackle a new module now in the series, the PMP preparation course. Now you can study this module on its own in order to have a good understanding of what project quality management is about and quality management in general, and project versus project management and so on. Or you can also study this module as one of the chapters building up to the PMP preparation course. Now, those of you who have watched my previous chapters and my previous videos would have covered so far project scope management, project schedule management, project cost management, and now we turn our attention to project quality management. Right, quality. Now, this chapter on project quality management, at the end of this chapter, at the end of this particular module, you will be able to work on quality management planning. Quality will not happen by coincidence. You have to plan it in, as you will see in the next slides and presentations and videos. Then we will study a process to put that plan into action called perform quality management. And then, of course, everything you plan and execute, you will need to also control. So we have a process called perform quality control. Now, all of this will happen after an introduction to quality and quality concepts. Many of you will probably have lots of questions regarding quality, what is ISO, what is quality assurance versus quality control, precision grade, and lots of concepts around quality. We have prepared for you a nice little introduction to quality and quality concepts and quality management concepts before we get into project quality management processes. So, and here is how this module will go. Of course, divided over several videos. This is what we will cover. Project management and quality management. We will differentiate between the two and explain some of the concepts surrounding the two. And then we will talk about the project management, the project quality management processes: plan quality, manage quality, and control quality. We have three of them. During talking about the processes, we'll talk about quality tools, quality management tools, and technical quality management tools. So we'll be covering quite a number of them in this module. And finally, we have some nice review questions for you to wrap up this module. Now, some working professionals go on and study quality management, or even some organizations adopt some quality standards that will happen if you manage your project in a certain way. Let me give you an example. If you are working in engineering company, especially software development companies, you might be adopting the CMMI, Capability Maturity Model Integrated, is essentially a quality standard, and it's built around quality. And studying the CMMI, you will have to manage your projects in a certain way in order to achieve the quality that you want. So it's like project management happens to serve the quality of the end product when you are adopting CMMI. When you are adopting the PMBOK in your work, you will be working towards a quality project that will happen if you adopt certain quality ways of working. So it's like project management and quality management are kind of intertwined. And those who study project management from within the realm of quality management will see that there are lots of similarities, lots of overlapping with those who study quality management from within the project management realm. So it's not like we have different worlds. We have lots of overlapping. Project management and quality management go hand in hand. But it's like if you are adopting CMMI, your focus is a little bit different than those who are adopting the PMBOK in their work. And I've seen from a practical standpoint in many organizations, they create a system. They create part of their organizational process assets, the system they create for managing their work, whether it's operations or projects. They adopt both standards. They create an environment in which, let's say, software development uses CMMI extensively, whereas the project management aspect, the project aspect of that software development uses the PMBOK extensively, and they both live in perfect harmony. So there's no contradiction. It's just a little bit difference in focus, lots of overlapping. So we'll be talking more about that, the PMBOK as the source of knowledge to project management and quality approaches. Then we'll talk about PM and QM similarities and differences. And we will be also talking about quality systems and gurus. So those founding fathers, if you may, and famous gurus and quality concepts they have come up with. So you'll find that the quality management chapter in the PMBOK is very much compatible, the knowledge inside it is very much compatible with the ISO standard, with the TQM, Six Sigma, CMMI, and all the quality standards out there. The reason for that is that they stem from the same philosophy, more or less. They all have customer satisfaction in mind. They all have continuous improvement in mind. And actually, they respect the things like the PDCA cycle, the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle that was suggested by Edward Deming. And you will find that even demonstrated in other chapters in the PMBOK, where you have a planning process, you have an execution process, and you have a controlling process. So that Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle is also demonstrated in the structure and the philosophy of the PMBOK throughout. Things like plan procurement, conduct procurement, control procurement in the procurement management chapter. And here in this chapter we have plan quality, manage quality, and control quality. So plan, do, check. So even the spirit of that planning for quality and executing and controlling it is not just demonstrated in this quality chapter, but throughout the PMBOK as a whole. The PDCA cycle is demonstrated in the way the processes are structured in various chapters in and beyond the quality management chapter. Right, those of you who don't know the ISO is ISO stands for International Standardization Organization, and it's actually a union of standardization organizations in countries around the world. And the ISO as a body, they issue all sorts of standards, quality standards. They are very famous for the main standard they have issued is the ISO 9000 family. That is the general management, quality management, the general management ISO. So how to manage in a quality way in whatever business you're working on. So it's a quality standard that applies for all businesses, and it basically revolves around that they, in order to get the ISO 9000, in order to get certified as ISO 9000 compliant, you have to show the auditors that you you write what you do and you do what you write. So all your procedures. They will check whether you have a management system in writing, and that you are following that management system that you wrote. That's in a nutshell. Of course, there are more details to that. You can, of course, go on their website and read more about it, but that's the general philosophy. They want to see a documented management system that is not only documented, but documented and followed. So, for example, let's say you want to certify your HR department. You want to give them the ISO 9000 certification for one reason or another. Sometimes the reason would be a marketing perspective. You just want to tell your shareholders and your customers and your stakeholders that you are managing in a quality way. So you might certify the entire organization, target the entire organization for an ISO 9000 certification, or certain departments. So I'd say you are targeting the HR department with an ISO 9000 certification. So what the auditors want to see is they want to see the HR department processes in writing. So let's say they ask the department employees and the department head, what do you guys do here? So you might be doing like 10, 15 things, hiring people, releasing people, compensating people, designing benefits packages, and let's say what you use in your work, 10 processes. And let's take one process as an example, the process of hiring new employees. So what the ISO auditors want to see is that process in writing. So they want to have a repetitive process. It's not like every time you hire another employee, you work in a different way. They want your work to be consistent. So they want to see that process in writing, and they will take a sample from your hirings in a certain period and see whether it complies with what you wrote. So write what you do and do what you write. That's basically what will get you the ISO 9000. Of course, there are more details to that. You have to demonstrate continuous improvement. Every process you write has to have KPIs, efficiency KPIs, effectiveness KPIs, and there are more details to that, but this is the general philosophy. I usually, just explain a few of the terms that you see on the screen right now. Those of you who have been exposed to the Six Sigma, for example, the Six Sigma was born in the manufacturing industry in order to try to make sure that we have quality products, repetitive, big volume quality products. So it applies very nicely in those environments and still is used there. Xerox and General Electric are champions of the Lean Six Sigma. And there are so many tools in the Six Sigma, the most well-known of which is the DMAIC, DMAIC. So if you face a problem, you need to DMAIC it. D for define the problem, M for measure, so collect lots of data around that problem. Like, for example, drop in productivity. So D is to define. Well, drop in productivity is not enough. You need to be crystal clear about the problem. So there is a drop in productivity for the morning shift in product line X, so define it in a crystal clear way. Then measure, collect all sorts of data around that problem. Gather, like, for example, production volume data in the past 30 days, in the past year, what is happening in the last week, what is happening during the day shift, the night shift, and so collect lots of data. That's the M aspect, D, M. Then analyze. Analyze would involve analyzing all that data and coming up with a solution based on the analysis of the data and coming up with a solution. Then comes the I, implement that solution. And finally, C, control. Control is about checking whether your solution was effective, has the problem been solved, and if not, repeat the cycle again, the IC cycle. So that's one of the main tools of the Six Sigma. Of course, it goes beyond that. It's a whole body of knowledge, but I just wanted to give you a few examples here. Right. So project management and quality management, they have lots and lots of overlapping and similarities. They both have customer satisfaction as a main target. They would both prefer prevention over inspection. So instead of waiting until a problem happens, we would rather not have the problem. That will lead us, later I will explain to you the difference between QA and QC. So prevention, QA is rather about prevention, QC is more about inspection. So I'll explain it to you a little bit later, a few slides down the road. Whether we're talking project management or quality management, we are in agreement that management is primarily responsible for a good project and a good quality in a project and in a product. So of course everybody in the organization is responsible, but management having to set the role model and demonstrate leadership qualities that will get the rest of the organization working towards a quality project and a quality product. And whether we're working under project management standard or under quality management standard, we are all advocates of continuous improvement. There is no standing still. If you stand still, you will go back. So you will have to thrive to move forward and have better and more efficient ways of work all the time. So the plan, do, check, act cycle we were talking about just a minute ago, proposed by Edward Deming. Nevertheless, there are some differences between project management standards like the one in the PMBOK and quality management standards like the one in the CMMI standard, for example. Each have a slightly different focus, a bit of a different focus actually, not just slight. If you study the PMBOK, you will find that the focus here is project management, and quality management is a part of that. Whereas if you study CMMI, you will see that the focus is on quality management, and project management is a part of that. So lots of overlapping, but the focus is different. And when we say that both project management and quality management advocate that management is primarily responsible for the good work and the efficiency and the good quality, management responsibility is slightly different from each approach. The PMBOK focuses on the project manager's responsibility and the fact that the project manager is ultimately responsible for the entire project, including its quality management, the quality management on the project. Whereas if you study quality management on a corporate level, for example, they will talk about the responsibility of senior management for the quality on a corporate level. So management responsibility takes a slightly different look and shape between project management standards and quality management standards.